friends. Yeah, it's that time of month again. Wait a minute, I didn't mean it that way. Anyway, we're here for our membership meeting, September. If you can believe it already, the summer's fleeting away. Before we get started tonight, I want to introduce Scott Yonley in 8SY, who has a message from for us from the ARRL. Scott, all yours.
All right. Thank you. First off, it's not just ARRL. It's for every ham in the entire nation. For a long time, we have been down in Congress begging, pleading, and all that kind of thing to get our HOA bill pushed through. It's now time for your turn. We're actually calling for action from you. And it's very simple. Okay, if you go on, and those of you who are ARRL members have already gotten this notification, most likely, last night and so on. But for those of you who haven't gotten it or haven't read your emails, we're asking now for your call to action to write to your congresspeople. It's a real simple way. We've created something that is so easy a caveman can do it, very literally. The only requirement is you do have to have a call sign, and that's an amateur call sign. Why is that? Because the database that's going to look up your call sign is QRZ, and they do not recognize anything but amateur call signs, with it being selected amateur radio. So that's unfortunate that we can't get GMRS and all that involved. But at this point, this is a ham radio bill, and it has to do with amateur radio. So the real simple way to get there is go to the Great Lakes Division website. On the left, I know this is going to be hard for you guys back in the back to see. On the left, you'll see it says HOA bill. You push on that button, and it comes up with a whole lot of verbiage. But there are two links on there, as well as if you use a cell phone, there is also a QR code you can click on. It'll take you right to the registration page. Now, it's as simple as this. When you get to the registration page, you will scan down. And come on here. Let's get there. Okay. It will scan down automatically and bring up the very first line is going to be your call sign. You enter your call sign. Hang on, give it a few seconds to populate. It will populate everything on there except your email. You put your email in if you want to. Hit the red submit button. That's it. That's all there is to it. We're asking every ham in this country, 777,000 of you. We want every ham to send a letter because it's so simple to do. Please, this is very, very important. Now, a lot of you, when I do talks up here, a lot of you ask me, why doesn't the ARRL ever come to me and ask me my opinion? Why don't they ask for my help? We're asking for your help. We're begging for your help right now. Please, please. I can't emphasize this enough, how important this is. Every letter counts. And I just got a synopsis just a minute ago from the director who's running this program. We are number 5. We have 1,900 submissions already, just in the past 24 hours. But I got to say, what I'm disappointed with, California also has 1,900. Guys, we're better than California. Let's get everybody, every ham in Ohio backing this. We'll wipe out California like you wouldn't believe. Now, folks, I will tell you this. When we did the PRB 1 bill, we had 30,000 letters. We want a minimum of 60,000. I want personally 100,000 because I know we can do it. That's only 1/7 of the hams throughout this country. 1/7, that's not that much. and I know we can do it. So please, please, if you want to do it while you're sitting here, go ahead. It only takes a couple of seconds to do. So I encourage it. I beg you, please, please. This is so, so important. And we need to get their attention, and this is how we're going to do it. All right, thank you.
Sorry, thanks, Scott. Thanks, Scott. And that website is what again?
I'm sorry?
The website that's
It's the Great Lakes Division website.
Okay.
Do they have one for national?
Yeah, you were given the site from the ARRL.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, it was in that letter that you got.
That's right. No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I'm not part of the ARRL.
Just go on the Great Lakes Division website. It's all right there.
I'll send for you.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we'll sit. Yeah.
Jason will send out a letter or send out an email.
Perfect. All right. And if you are an ARRL member, which I would encourage everybody to do for things like this, they are our liaison to Washington, and just for the protection of the frequencies, et cetera, things that we've talked about many times in the past, it's a good thing. Also, if you are an ARRL member, you got a letter with the link, and it does take 30 seconds. It really is very, very quick. Very good. Okay, Dave, showing off again. All right, thank you very much. All right, without any further reservation, I take that back. I have lots of reservations. Our very own Digital Dorsey is going to give us a splendid presentation tonight on free DV. I am excited about it. I have actually heard it in operation. It's something. It is really something. It could be the difference. You remember when everybody remembers when we went from AM to single sideband? Everybody remembers that, right? Yeah. This could be that kind of delta. So without any further ado, I'm going to switch this projector over, and Mr. Ken Dorsey of the 21st and a half century will take us forward.
Hands off, hands off, hands off before I got the switch.
How'd you do that?
I didn't do it, you did it. He's getting a little old there, I think. He's starting to forget things. All right, anyway, I am Ken Dorsey, and I'm going to be speaking about a program called FreeDV. FreeDV is an open source HF, and you heard me right, HF, digital voice system for amateur radio. Before we go into it too much, I just want to do some technical stuff, get the technical stuff out of the way first. You're going to hear me talk tonight a lot about codecs and vocoders. So originally, codecs vocoders were analog to digital chips that basically did all of the work for the audio side. More recently, with the dawn of more powerful computer systems, we don't have to use chips anymore. We can now eliminate the chips and just use the emulation in software to emulate what those chips used to do. So this is great news. We can actually do this without having any hardware, any associated hardware. So real quick, a codec basically encodes and decodes audio streams, and it can add compression. If you want to try to get more audio in there, you can actually compress it. The vocoder is used to synthesize the speech. So once the codec decodes the audio stream, it'll put it to the vocoder, and the vocoder will actually do the talking. So basically, in summary, while vocoders focus on synthesizing speech, the codecs are responsible for the encoding and decoding of audio signals. For its codec, FreeDV is using the Codec 2, which is, again, an open source digital voice library created by David Rowe, VK5DGR. And just as a side, this codec is also being used by the M17 project. So if any of you have started tinkering with M17 or delving into M17, you're going to be using the same codec on M17 that they're using here on FreeDV. The vocoder that's being used is called the Farragut voice codec, or otherwise known as the Opus voice codec. Not important, but I thought I'd throw it in there anyway. So, as Gary said, he must have seen my slides in advance, but as Gary said, we're starting to transition. You know, we went from AM to SSB in the 1950s and 1960s. Well, amateur radio is again starting a transition, but now from analog to digital. And I think we all see that transition coming. You've got WinLink, you've got FL Digi with all its modes, Olivia and MT63 and all those modes. And you have FT8, of course. Let's not forget FT8, FT4. So we're gaining a lot more digital activity on the HF bands. So the problem up until now with the voice part is the phone has been limited to the fact that the codecs being developed were by commercial manufacturers who then would license their chips for large sums of money to other manufacturers that are using their product, while at the same time they maintain patents on the hardware or its code, making it basically virtually illegal for a third party to experiment with or even understand the technology. So they're protecting their IP, their intellectual property. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not disparaging manufacturers for being protective of their intellectual property. They've put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of engineering resources into their product. Their board of directors wants them to see a return on that investment. All of the people that maybe own shares in the company, all the shareholders, they want the company to return a profit. So, I understand that. They have to be profitable too, or they wouldn't be around. So anyway, this is no longer the case for amateur radio operators because FreeDV is unique because it uses a 100% open source software, including the codecs. There are no secrets, there's nothing proprietary. You can go out to the GitHub site and you can download the entire code base for FreeDV if you want to see what the code looks like. And finally, FreeDV represents a path for 21st century amateur radio where hams are free to experiment and innovate rather than be stuck in a future using a single manufacturer's closed technology. So this opens up a whole new world for experimenters, which a lot of amateur radios are. We're pretty much all of us are experimenters at one time or another. So this is what is really the breakthrough part of FreeDV. So what is FreeDV? Well, FreeDV was actually begun in 2012. So it's been around for a while. It didn't work really great the first few modes that they had because, again, they were limited by computing power. The latest version now, and that I consider it, in my humble opinion, the best mode so far that they have in the system, is called the Radio Autoencoder, or better known as RAID version 1. So right now we're on RAID version 1. So using the free GUI application for Windows, 64-bit only. Sorry, if you have 32-bit Windows, it's not going to work. It just requires too much processing power to run under 32-bit Windows. You have to have 64-bit Windows. And that's primarily because of the code base. They're using a lot of Python scripting, and Python in and of itself just isn't really that robust of a coding system. So I hear rumors that they're talking about porting the Python stuff over to maybe to C or C++ or C#. That will certainly increase the potential to maybe get it into Windows 32. But right now, 64-bit only Windows. It does do OS X or Linux, and any single sideband radio with a computer sound card interface can be used to transmit and receive high-quality digital voice. And I've got some samples in here, and I think if you've heard FreeDV before, but you haven't heard RAID V1, I think this is going to blow your mind. If you've never heard FreeDV before with RAID V1, it is going to blow your mind, I guarantee you. If your radio doesn't have a built-in sound card for digital modes, the same cables and hardware like a Signal Link or a DigiRig of any of those that you use for other digital modes will work with FreeDV. So you don't have to have any other hardware if you don't need to have something. Tonight, just to make FreeDV work for me, I've got a DigiRig connected to my PC, and that's only because when I bring the actual program up, it wants to see some kind of an audio source. If it isn't there, it complains miserably and shuts down. So, so I'm just running now. That would normally be obviously connected to a radio. It's not tonight. It's just sitting on the table. But also, if your radio supports cat control, FreeDV can also be configured to control your radio. So FreeDV has a secondary program in it called FreeDV Reporter. And FreeDV Reporter is basically a spotter program for FreeDV. You can bring that program up and it will show you who's on FreeDV. It will show you what mode they're using. Again, remember there's more than just RAID V1 in there. There's other modes. It will show you the frequency the person's on and whether they're transmitting, receiving, whatever. And you can just double click on that person. If you want to try to contact them, you can double click on the person. If you have cat control on your radio, it'll automatically tune your radio to their frequency, the frequency they're on. And I'll show you that in a little bit here. So what are the advantages of digital voice? Digital voice uses less bandwidth than a similar analog transmission. Many DV modes use less than half the standard bandwidth. And what that basically equates to, narrow bandwidth equates to higher power density, which equates to a lower minimum signal to noise ratio. So you can pick signals out of the really low signal to noise ratio. Being a digitized source, it's inherently more immune to noise. Obviously, it's digital. And it does have forward error correction that can sometimes, with some trade-offs, fix receive data. So you may drop a couple bits or something. It may not sound perfect, but most of the time it's very readable. What are the disadvantages? Well, the primary disadvantage is the signal has to be either a Q5 or a Q0. If it's a Q5, you're going to receive. If it's Q0, you're not. If the data isn't there, let's face it, if the data isn't there and there's nothing to decode, it's not going to do anything. It's going to just sit there and you're going to just get nothing out of the speakers of your PC. And I see guys all the time, they're trying to connect. There's a bunch of Japanese stations that are really into FreeDV, and they're on all the time, it seems like. And I keep seeing questions from people, well, I'm seeing this station in Japan, and I click on them, and my radio tunes to this frequency, and I don't hear them. Well, are you hearing his signal at all? Go out to analog and see if you even hear the digital stream. If you're not hearing the digital stream, of course you're not hearing them. There's nothing to decode. So if there's nothing to decode, you're not going to hear anything. Also, the disadvantage is traditionally it didn't really sound as good as a 5.9 analog FM or single sideband signal. The decoded audio tended to be more robotic sounding. Okay, you're going to hear tonight, it sounds a lot less robotic and a lot more like actually the person's voice. It's pretty amazing. And I know those were a lot of people said, oh, DMR just sounds too robotic for me. It's just not a, it's not a good digital, it's too robotic. But when you hear this tonight, I think you'll be pretty impressed. And one thing I'll say, the recordings that you hear tonight that I have recorded from my shack, from my QTH, those recordings are going to sound a little funky. They're going to have an echo, kind of a little echo, funky echo in them. And I have no idea where that was. I didn't have any idea where that was coming from until a couple weeks ago. And I realized I was using the recording function in FreeDV. Well, when you record in FreeDV, it leaves your microphone on. It doesn't mute your mic. So the audio coming out of my speakers that I was listening to was going back into the microphone and back into the recorder. So there's like this little quarter-second delay in there. So there's a funky echo, but it does not sound like that when it's just coming out of the PC speakers. So I've learned my lesson. Next time I go to record something, I'll plug a pair of headphones in or something so I don't have to have the speakers out where the microphone can pick them up. All right. Are these transmissions legal? That's someone's always going to ask this. The ARRL considers digital voice as having a designator of J2E. J being single sideband, 2 being a single channel with digital information, and E being telephony. So J2E, as Part 97 defines it, it is defined as a phone emission. A J2E emission is defined as phone in Part 97. The only band where these transmissions are not allowed in the US is the 60-meter band, because 60 meters is limited to phone only. You can't do digital in 60 meters, so you stick to J3E transmissions on the 60-meter band. Now that's something else I want to bring up, because there are many stations out there running free DV in Europe, and a lot of them are using 60 meters. So you want to be very careful if you're going down the list and you see a station in Europe that you want to try to connect to. Don't connect to one that's running 60 meters, or you're going to be immediately illegal. You'll be running digital on 60, which is a no-no. So that's something just to be aware of. Yes?
So even though it's classified as a phone emission, you can technically do it on 30 meters? Is that
So you can't, because it's still a digital transmission. Yeah, it's still considered a J2E transmission, not a J3E. It's not true phone. It's not a true phone transmission. And if you're really interested, there's a very good document on the ARRL website in their technical documents section called Practical HF Digital Voice. It was written in May, June of 2000. It's a good document to read if you really want to go down the rabbit hole. I mean, it's really deep, but it goes into a lot of digital information for digital transmission. So that's Practical HF Digital Voice, May, June 2000. And again, if you want to reference for the digital transmission, that it's a phone transmission, if you look up Part 97.3, subsection 5, subsection C, that basically exactly describes what a legal phone transmission is, and we fall into that definition. Obviously, you still have to put out you have to follow all the FCC rules. You need to ID every 10 minutes or ID at the end of your transmissions. Use only as much power as needed, etc. Still have to follow the same rules. Somebody says, well, it's digital. I don't have to do that on Yaesu System Fusion. I don't have to throw my call sign out there. Well, that's because your call sign is actually in the digital stream in Yaesu System Fusion. So your call is a part of the digital stream. Your call is not part of this digital stream. This is just strictly voice only. So where can digital voice be used? Since it is considered phone, you use the standard conventions of single sideband analog voice. So if it's above 10 megahertz, USB. If it's below 10 megahertz, LSB. So that's the standard for phone. Most of the activity is on 14.236 meg. I don't know why I put the plus and minus QRM in there, because there really isn't QRM. But I guess QRM could mess the signal up if it was really bad. And then 7177 is a 7.177, 7.182, and 28,330 megahertz are also very common frequencies. And we have a digital DV net on Tuesday evenings at 10 o'clock on 7182. I'm going to play you a few minutes of that net so you can kind of hear what that net sounds like. So why use free DV? Well, the digital voice system is optimized for HF band conditions. They've used AI to kind of generate some of the code, and they've put in what the conditions are that it might be in for HF, and the AI has actually generated code to get around those conditions. It's also a narrow enough signal to not be an annoyance to other hams. It is PSK, but it's not the pesky kind of PSK. It's just digital PSK. And it's also better able to deal with band conditions like fading, noise, and etc. And again, you're going to hear that on some of my audio samples here. FreeDV has a built-in voice keyer. So if you're going to do contesting with FreeDV, you can actually set up a voice recording, like putting out your CQ and your call sign. And FreeDV, you can tell FreeDV to automatically start sending your CQs out on the frequency, and it'll send it out. It'll wait a few seconds for somebody to come back to you. If it doesn't hear somebody coming back, it just repeats. It's the same kind of thing you'll see on, you'll hear on a lot of the nets or a lot of the contests and stuff where there's somebody out there saying CQ, but it's their radio that's doing the CQ. And then when you come back to them, then they jump on, and usually they ask you for your call sign again. That's a nice feature. Also, it has a built-in recorder, as I mentioned. It has the spotting application, FreeDV reporter. I'm going to delve into that here on the next slide. And it also has an analog to digital switch. So you can have FreeDV up and running. And if you want to go back to analog, you can just push a button on FreeDV and automatically switch your radio back to analog. And you can run analog, and then if you're ready to go back to FreeDV digital, you can hit this button again and you're back in digital mode. Very easy. And I missed the middle part. It uses your existing radio equipment for digital voice, unlike other digital voice modes. So you don't have to buy another radio. It's not like DMR or System Fusion or any of those other modes where you have to have a different radio to use it. Any standard HF sideband radio will work with it. If you're already doing FT8, FreeDV is basically just a drop-in plug-and-play system. It takes about 3 minutes of configuration, and you'll be on the air with FreeDV. And you're going to hear a couple of guys that are on the nets here that I recorded. They're going to say, yeah, I just got this running a couple hours ago. So, and you will hear you're going to hear a lot of new guys that have no idea what they're doing. They're going to sound kind of confused, but it's good. So FreeDV Reporter. It's a live status of users that are currently online with FreeDV. It also does a status of what people are doing, if they're receiving, if they're transmitting, what their mode, what their frequency is. I've already discussed this a little bit. It is capable of sending messages, so you can message to someone on FreeDV Reporter. You can also request another user online to QSY to your frequency. So if you see someone else online, you can ask them to QSY to your frequency if you want. And the nice thing about FreeDV Reporter, you can also pull it up online. I'm going to show you what it looks like online. This is great because you don't even have to launch FreeDV to see the FreeDV Reporter. You can just bring it up online, and hopefully it's going to, yeah, wait for it. Well, okay, for some reason, I lost my connection. Let's reconnect here. Now. I'm gonna relaunch it real quick here. Try this again. There we go. All right. So you can see all these stations that are in pink, they're doing something. They're either texting someone or doing something. If they're transmitting, they'll be highlighted in red. If they're receiving someone's transmission, that will be highlighted in green. And if they are receiving someone, like if you want to know if somebody's receiving you, it actually lists your signal to noise ratio that they're getting you at. So if they're getting you at, a +1 or a -1, something like that, they're receiving you pretty well. And this list is probably fairly long. It usually is. There's all kinds of stations. We have quite a few people on FreeDV. Now there's someone transmitting, and it even tells you, it even says he's transmitting. He's on 14236. So this is how you can actually see if somebody's out there. If you want to jump in and talk to them, you don't even have to load FreeDV. You can just go out to this reporter website and pick it up. And the website is qso.freedv.org. All right. So a little bit about RAID V1, since that's the mode we're going to talk about mostly. It uses voice features like the pitch and et cetera to generate a PSK signal to send over the air with a bandwidth of only 1,500 hertz. So half the bandwidth. Yes, Jerry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Talking about the setup and all that, do you have to change any radio settings
No.
when you're doing this, or just
No.
launch the program and make
Launch
sure
the
it's
program.
hooked up?
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
launch
just
the
like
program, make
running
sure
an
it's
FTA,
exactly.
stuff like that?
Yeah, and I'll show you how to configure it. It's really, it's like a 5-minute or less than that, probably 10-minute or 10-second configuration. It's pretty quick. So it takes the voice features that it hears and it actually generates the PSK signal with those features. So when the codec converts decodes the received audio back, it saves those features and takes and puts and sends that digital stream with the features to the vocoder to generate the audio stream, and that's why it sounds so much more human-like. So, okay, so this one should be kind of exciting. This is I ripped this off of a YouTube video. You can go out and watch the entire video if you want to. It's called Machine Learning and Free DV. It was given to the Rat Pack Club out in California. I believe they're in California. And he did this Munir Salem, K6AO, did a presentation for the club, and they recorded his presentation. So you can go out to YouTube and watch the entire presentation if you like. But he had a sample that I'm going to play for you. The first half of his sample, he's going to explain it too, but I'm going to explain it quick. The first half of his sample is going to be a station that's right in the noise level calling CQ, analog. Okay, he's going to be on sideband, analog, calling CQ. See if you can even hear the station. After that, the station switches over to free DV, and I think you'll be amazed.
I'm about to play a couple of audio samples. The first one is going to be a single sideband signal that's pretty deep in the noise and kind of difficult to understand. And the next one is going to be how that sounds when encoded with RAID instead. So first off, here's the sideband signal. And then next is the RAID signal.
CQ, CQ, CQ. This is VK5 Delta Golf Romeo, Victor Kilo 5 Delta Golf Romeo. Calling CQ for UV 2020.
Is that amazing or what? I want one. Yeah. So, and that audio was actually recorded when they were first doing initial testing and coding of RAID V1. They've actually improved it since then. There have been many improvements on the sound quality as well as improvements on the receive sensitivity. The receive sensitivity on RAID V1 currently stands at -10 dB, signal to noise level. So that is pretty impressive considering FT8 runs about -20 dB. So, and they have, July 1st, they started development on RAID V2, version 2. So if RAID version 1 sounds this great, I can't wait to hear RAID version 2. So I'm going to play a station, an audio sample that actually came from my QTH now, just to prove that this gentleman's audio was legit, that he wasn't waiting for the very best signal level or something like that to get it. This is recorded from my home using FreeDV Record, the recorder in FreeDV. It's the net control station for the FreeDV net, which airs on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. on 40 meters. And he starts the net in analog sideband just to announce that the net's starting to people. And then once he's done announcing, he switches over to FreeDV, to digital. And again, it's going to be amazing.
November 3 Foxtrot land and 3FL. Calling the FreeDV activity net. Calling for the FreeDV activity net. We are a digital voice net on 3 p.m. message frequency. We're making an announcement right now. We'll send a sideband which occupies approximately 3 kilohertz will be switched to 3dB mode, which is 1.5 kilohertz digital. If you're interested, you can go to freedv.org. That's freedv.org. Download the program on your laptop. You will need an additional sound card or sound device to sound like it is to make it run. Log into Google Boost for digital voice. That's where we are. We'd love to have you join us. This is N3XL. I'm going to pause and switch back to a digital mode.
Good evening, everyone. This is N3FL, and my antenna is still trying to calibrate itself. For the steppers, I'm on the vertical tonight, which may put some of you at a disadvantage. I have started a list in a net logger. Boy, and boy, did the number of people just jump. I've got to add some more in here. I'll do that as I go, but I'm going to go down the list. Please give me your name, your location, and your what you're running.
It was splattering me on sideband. So, yeah, craziness. So the next one I'm going to do, this is a sample from the Tuesday Night Net, just to give you an idea. We get people checking in from all over the country. This will kind of give you an idea what it sounds like in various places, from various places in the country. The net runs for about an hour and a half. I compressed this down to 8 minutes, and basically what I did, I took the net control station out, calling all the stations, and then I basically just took a clip of the station giving his call and his location. So it's about an 8-minute sample. This will give you some idea of what it sounds like.
Headset in order to set it all up. If you can look on YouTube, learn how to do it. We'd love to have you join. Right now, we're looking at about 20 kilowatt stations will be operating on here for the next 45 districts. So with that, I'm going to switch to 3dB, and I'm hoping that if you're here, you'll come join us as soon as you can get set up. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. Okay, boy, you got to push the right buttons. Man, oh man. All right, well, I need help. No doubt about it. Okay, so here we go. It's 10 o'clock, time for FreeDV Net. We have a lot of calls already enter here, and with regards to the net, I'd like to see if we can pick up a W5 Mike Papa Charlie. W5 Mike Papa Charlie. Let's see.
I'm located here in northeast Texas on Lake Pines. If you go about 60 miles east of Shreveport, Louisiana, I'm right over on the Texas side, right over in northeast Texas here. And that's what I got going on here.
FL on the FreeDV Net, MD7M. The name here is Dennis, and we're located in southern Nevada, a little town called Grub, which is about 60 miles west of Las Vegas.
Yeah, good evening. WF1C here, name's John. I'm in Mystic, Connecticut, as you just pointed out. Mystic's about 10 miles from Rhode Island, pretty close to Long Island Sound or the Atlantic Ocean, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, M3FL. This is K0PFX. Bill, and I'm in St. Louis, just outside of St. Louis, and copying everybody very well this evening. Corrupts coming in from the west. I've got my beam a little bit to the northeast, and hearing everybody.
All right, yeah, M3FL in the group. This is KCHY in Auburn. My handle is Dane, D-A-Y-N-E, as opposed to Melvin. That's actually my first name, but my mother decided to go by the middle name. Things are doing well down here, and we're having cool weather in Auburn, Alabama.
Well, great, everyone. Hopefully, I'm a little bit better now. I think I'm like the bold, instead of output. Hopefully, I am making it. I'm going to say the whole like it is. Here's John, we're in Columbia, South Carolina. 100 watts just barefoot into an infinite halfway, and hopefully this microphone is at least giving me some output. So I'll keep it very short, and back to you, Fred. This is KT4, KB.
Really good most of the time, but it seems like occasionally it's doing some deep fading. Anyway, name is Walter. Walter's the name in Houston, Texas here, running a Flex 6600 EM. Very much, Fred. Yeah, the name here is Dunham, and I'm located in northern Nevada in a little town called Winnemucca, right on Interstate 80.
WFL, this is the W0EG, Bob, Myrtle Beach, and you're 20 over, you're very, very strong signal here. Not copying everybody 100%, but most stations, getting understandable, and some are just solid. So we're running a 7300, and I'm running about 400 watts through a Mercury Tree amplifier. First time using 3dB with an amplifier here. It's just a dipole, not up real high, maybe 25 feet or so. Again, it was Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and it's been a nice day here. We had a little bit of rain, but otherwise it's a very pleasant day. And glad to see all the check-ins here, and I'll be monitoring. It's W0EG, over.
FL, this is Alpha Zero Kilo Mike. My name is Jeff. I'm running a ground-mounted vertical, a Hustler, a T380 ground-mounted Hustler. This is my third computer setup, so hopefully my audio reaches you well, net control, and everybody else as well on the ground mount. I'm hearing probably 80%. So in Missouri and Central United States helps a bunch. So anyway, my first time checking that, and I look forward to the future. This is fantastic.
Okay, let's try this here. Hopefully I'm getting a signal out. This is K9FB. My name is John. I'm located in Kokomo, Indiana.
Hi, good evening. This is Whiskey Delta 9, Juliet Echo November. Again, here is Mark, and I'm located in Arlington Heights, Illinois. I'm about 35 miles northwest of Chicago.
Okay, very good. Not sure if it's working. Hopefully it is. Be my first time on the net, first time transmitting, even I've just got this running today. Name here is Nick, and located in Sutton, Massachusetts, which is near Worcester.
Everybody else, and listen on W85QPZs, Quebec Peter Zulus, W85QPZs has the YouTube recording of this. It's live right now, but you can listen to it afterwards and get a very good idea of what your audio sounds like. It's an incredible way to listen to yourself. W4X-Ray India.
The name is Maurice. I'm the QTH is Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C., by the Air Space Flight Center. And I'm surprised how nice everything sounds here tonight on 40 meters. I know many of the guys that's here. I've talked to many of them on 3DV, but of course there's a whole lot of new people on 3DV and the net for it. So nice being here and be here listening. N3FL with the 3DV group. This is W3FGP. Back to you.
Hello, my name is JJ, Juliet. I'm located out of Asheville, North Carolina. But yeah, the name on the student is JJ, and the call is Kilo Golf 4 Victor Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay, what do you think?
Awesome.
Isn't that great? All right, so, oh yes, question.
Can people talk over top of each other?
No, that's one thing you will, if you collide, you won't get through. Yeah, you got to be careful with collisions.
Neither station gets through if you're on top of each other?
No, it's just a jumbled mess. So.
I like that.
Uh-oh.
Jumbled messes.
My battery's running. Yeah, I got to plug the power supply in. Okay, real quick, before I need to plug my power supply in, we had one station check in that basically freaked all of us out. Talk about DX. This station was talking to us from Costa Rica. And you'll hear him, he's hard to understand, but that's not because of free DV, it's because obviously English isn't his first language. So, but here he is.
Yes, did I hear that correctly? Is that, Tango India 4 Lima Alpha Sierra? Did I get that correct? This is November 3, Foxtrot Lima, Fred, in Maryland. Go ahead.
You got it right. I'm in the form Lima America Sugar. My name is Lou, legal uniform. Yeah, your friends, you are coming with Florida, Cleveland, coming you very well. November 3, Foxtrot Lima, take me your phone, Lima Alpha Sierra, and this is my first try. My first try out to the around free TV. USL, back to you.
Yeah. From Costa Rica. So, as you can see, we get a lot of people that are new to free DV, and it's their first time, and they're on the net, and they're just kind of getting used to it. Some of the guys didn't sound too great because of audio issues. They probably need to go out and, yeah, thank you. They probably need to go out and adjust their audio a little bit, but if it was their first time on, they probably don't know about that. What did it do? Okay, I just plugged in the power supply. Well, that's not good.
HDMI connection?
Maybe I did. Well, no, I'm not getting anything on the laptop either. What the heck? Yeah, right, exactly. Oh. What, you're going to do what?
USB switch plugs.
Oh.
Are you done?
Not quite. I have one.
What do you want
I still want to show the free DV off real quick.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry.
Can I get a question?
yeah. While we're waiting for that to reboot, go right ahead.
I'm kind of curious. Now, an SDR receiver, simple, dongle, cheap, dirt cheap. Can I be able to use that with my SDR? And then I'll probably have to use an external sound card with it, I would imagine.
No, because your SDR dongle is probably plugged in as a USB device, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but
So,
I port that out of.
So yeah, you could just take the USB audio right out of that device into free DV. Absolutely. Now you're going to receive only, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, no, you could just tell free DV that's your audio source. That's all you have to do. So I'm going to bring up free DV here real quick. Now that my laptop's back.
Everybody catch that password?
Yeah. All right. So where do you find free DV? Well, you can go out to freedv.org to find the download. If you go to freedv.org and you scroll down to about the middle of the page, there's a download section, and that's where you can find. So this is the free DV site, and if you scroll down, bless you. If you scroll down to about right here where it says download, here's your installer for 64-bit Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and they suggest if you're running Linux, you should just build from the source. And someone did set up a script to allow you to do that, so it makes it pretty easy. And then there, like I said, the GitHub releases page is out there. You can go out to the GitHub releases page. Now I'm going to bring up the actual free DV. That's for another time. All right. This is what the interface for free DV looks like. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to just play a quick snippet here. Let me go through the setup. So when you first load it up, it's going to come up with this easy setup, okay? This is the only page you have to do anything with, really. You just want to tell it what your USB audio device is, what the speakers are for your computer, and then what your transmit audio is recording through, again, for your computer. That's the microphone that's on the computer. And then if you have the CAT control, you can set up CAT control. And then down here at the bottom, this is where you can say, do I want to be listed on the free DV reporter or do I not want to be listed? You don't have to be listed on the free DV reporter if you don't want to be. So I'm just going to play. Let me bring up FreeDV Reporter. So it's in the menu, it's in the Tools menu. So there's FreeDV Reporter, exactly the same as what we saw on the website. So you see there's a couple stations in here transmitting right now. Somebody in, I don't know where he is, JA4ECX. Sometimes people will list, like here's Art in Springfield. Art in Springfield,
Texas.
Ohio is always out there. He's in Texas?
This
Yeah.
the red one here is.
Okay. But
Oh, no, that's
no, that's
Cincinnati.
not
I'm
Texas.
sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what the FreeDV Reporter looks like actually in the software online. So I'm going to real quick bring up a file. A file. FreeDV. Now this computer isn't the fastest thing in the world, so it's going to take probably a minute or so to load up the file and start playing it. What's that? And I'm going to show you, once it starts playing here, if it starts playing, maybe it'll start playing. Come on, FreeDV, we're running out of time here. Well, why is it not?
Have they set any immersion? I mean, how many people are going to get into this? Have they got any forecast?
It seems like there's more and more and more and more every week, at least on our net. Our net started out with around 20, 25 people. It's up to around 50, 60 now. So, I mean, it's generating a lot of interest. There we go. Okay, so. You're not, unfortunately, it switched my speakers, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let's see if I can switch it back. No, that's all right. So this is what it looks like when it's decoding a signal. Yeah, I can't bring this up. Yeah, it's the microphone's not coming through there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's not going to come through. That's fine. I basically just wanted to show you. Here's the analog. Over here in the corner is the analog button, analog digital button. You want to be careful with this button because the button tells you what mode you're going to, not what mode you're in. So right now I'm in digital. If I click the button, now I'm in analog. And I don't know if you can hear that. That's what the analog sounds like, the analog signal. Just scratching, basically. So then if I want to go back to digital, I click the button again, back to digital, and now I'm back on digital. And there's all kinds of different, you can see all the different sections of the scope. So that's it. I'm done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions? Any other questions? Yes.
Could you please, I got one question. Why is it that partition between individual stations is not on top of each other like we're working on our normal RF and working with some of the digital? What's going on here that makes it so refined that it's not refined?
I think I understand the question. I'm not sure. So
Yeah, exactly. You're not using filters to separate.
No, well, it's just the digital signal. It's just a very narrow banded digital signal. Yeah.
But the interaction between other operators coming in, same time maybe not hearing each other, unless they're all hearing the same thing.
If you're on the same frequency, you're going to hear the same thing.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. If you're on the same frequency and somebody's transmitting, as soon as you get to the frequency, it's going to start decoding. So let me get. Go ahead.
This will allow you to set up like radios like with FL rig, because I can have settings on
The question is, can you set this up for two different radios? And my answer is, I don't know. I'll be honest, I do not know. Yeah, I suppose if you have two sound cards, you could set one up for maybe I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, Jerry.
Have you seen the free DV adapter that's a separate little box that you...
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it's just a sound card. It's just a sound card interface with the software in it, basically.
So you don't have to run a computer with it?
Right, correct. Yeah, it's a standalone. Right. Yeah, yeah, it's all standalone.
Do you have any experience with it?
I do not, no. I've seen YouTube videos of guys using it, but I don't have any experience with it. I'm sorry. Okay, Scott.
Yes, I have an older rig. I have an FT920. Now, I can run FT8, but I have to use a signal link to do it.
Right.
Can I run this?
Excuse me, hey guys, come on,
absolutely.
let's settle down, let's listen up.
Absolutely.
We're
What
not
does
done
it
yet.
require? Anything special? I mean, it is a cat transceiver.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just requires the same hookup, basically?
Same hookup for FT8. You just tell it what your inputs and outputs are as far as your USB ports, you know, what's talking to the radio USB, what's coming from the radio USB, the microphone on your computer, and then the speakers on your computer. You set those up and set up the CAT system and you're done. That's very easy.
With the 7700?
Yes?
Sorry if you answered this already, but do you have to be in the same mode, like in that rage mode, to talk to somebody?
Correct. If they're in a different mode, yeah, you're not going to be able to hear. I should have mentioned that. So yeah, most people are using RAID because RAID just blows everything else away, to be honest. Yeah, there's 4 modes in there. Actually, yeah, there's 4 modes, but RAID is the best mode. Yes, Stefan?
Question, but you can actually use 2 meter on SSB. So if you have 2 meter SSB and you can hear somebody way down in the front, it'll pull them out too.
Yeah.
You can use 2
Yeah, you can use 2 meter. Sure, anything, you know, the radio can receive. Any other questions? Did we have, I thought we had another one over here. I guess not. All right. I guess I'm done now. I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
All right, great presentation, Ken. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. All right, it's time for your 5-minute break. We'll be right back. find our seats and get this show on the road. Please. You guys want to get out of here sometime tonight, right?
Where's your microphone?
Found it.
Let's say make noise. I'm telling you.
Yellow.
Hot or cold.
Strangers in the night. Three lonely people, we were strangers in the night. That's sick. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I did that at PTA. I was doing a test at Wadsworth. What'd you do? I sang Strangers in the Night, Three Lonely People, we were strangers in the night. A couple people got it. You better control this meeting. All right, here we go. Welcome to the September 18th membership meeting, and guess what? We are the best looking hams in the hobby. And if you don't believe me, just look to your right, then look to your left. I rest my case. We are also the nicest as well, and that's compliments of Mr. Wagner. All right. Dick Wilson. We're going to miss him. We're going to miss him. They had the services last week, and these are some pictures. If you haven't seen the tribute on the obituary page, Anthony Funeral Home, you can Google that and then go down and find Dick's name. And they have a beautiful, and it wasn't put up immediately, but it's a wonderful picture presentation of Dick at different stages. And I borrowed a couple of them. He really, if you read his obituary, which obviously is very succinct, but he was an incredible person, did a lot of cool things, and does this thing work? Maybe not. Oh yeah, there it is. I didn't know Dick played the violin. How many people in here knew Dick played the violin? Anybody? I didn't. I did not. Whoa. Whoa, man. Now that's the way to get through a meeting, right? So this guy here, I'm telling you, he was a motorhead from the very beginning, had multiple motorcycles, did a lot of great things, and we're going to miss him. And when you hear the words, well, you know it's Dick. I'm going to open the floor up if anybody wants to have anything to say. Now's your opportunity. Stefan.
I just loved, everybody's heard it a million times, but it's just not to hear it anymore. Beautiful downtown Firestone Park.
Yeah, and his barometer was never under any pressure whatsoever. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to miss him.
American Motors Experimental.
You know, and that American Motors Experimental, first off, it's kind of confusing because most of us realize that experimental starts with an E. Right. So if you're using that phonetically, that ain't working.
I screwed up his small sense.
But it did spawn a incredible conversation on the barometer net one morning. Everybody started talking about the American Motors experimental car. I think it was a Javelin base or something like that. But anyway, then we started talking about muscle cars that morning, and it was, yeah. Thank you, Dick. We really appreciate that.
It was funny. So when I started listening to the barometer, I remember this. I would hear him come on and talking to Jim, going back and forth about the old goat, the old buzzard. And I was like, wow, these guys are really angry at each other. So then I finally got in on it after a little while, but it was fun.
And yeah, that became so famous that we actually enshrined that on a T-shirt. I think I saw a couple of them around here tonight. But oh, there it is, right there.
Mark K4OG's creation.
Right. Thank you, Mark, for that. Nicely done. And actually, it was voted on. There was a number of different submissions that year. We did a contest. And Mark's original design, actually, and I didn't realize this, had a front and a back, which was kind of amazing. And it was truly a work of art, to say the least. And I think there's a prototype or two out there someplace, but we'll just let that go for right now.
If you don't know K8AMX, you don't know Dick.
That's very true.
Wait 2 years to get his call sign if you want.
And right here, this is how I choose to remember Dick and his lovely bride. And oh, by the way, we did make a donation to Wounded Warriors. The club made a donation of $75 as per the request, Susan's request, that in lieu of flowers, donate to Wounded Warriors, which we did. So.
I'm sure she knows she's welcome anytime.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, anything else? Any other comments about? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just wondering now that the.
There you go. I can't really hear you.
I was just wondering now that the funeral's out of the way and everything, has Susan been kind of abandoned in all of this? Because I'm wondering what's happening to her and how she's getting along now.
Susan is surrounded by a loving family and a lot of people that know her and love her and will definitely take care of her. She knows and has been reaffirmed that the club is here if and when she needs us, and WAAKOC Fred is really the face of that, Chuck. Good question, and thank you for that. Anything else before we move on? All right, I'm going back here for a second. Anybody here that's either new to the club, new to this meeting? Anybody? I thought I would catch it. There you go. You got to stand up.
I got to stand up?
Yeah, you do.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's KF8 ETU, Adam Stone from New Franklin. Had my tech ticket just a little over a month now. So.
Welcome to this motley crew. We do appreciate it. Hopefully you can find a home here. All right. Okay, moving along. Announcements. Next VE session, Saturday, October 4th, 2025. Tests are still at the Rittman City Fire Department, right? Yes. All right. Massillon Ham Fest coming up. I think, Tom, why don't you have a couple things to say about that? Yeah, and then we also have tickets and stuff here if you want to. I got to tell you, the Massillon Ham Fest is one of the best in the area. It just really is. It's well done, well organized. And 2 IC 7300s this year.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got 2 of those. We've got, I think, a G90 and a mess of handhelds and stuff that has been donated from a long list of sponsors that we have. I do have admission tickets here, and we just discovered it's got the wrong date. So if you've got admissions tickets from me tonight, it's November 2nd, not the 1st. So I have to apologize for the Massillon Club for that. But I do have tickets here. We'll let you in on the 2nd with them regardless. So, if you want them, come see Linda and I, and we will be more than happy to accommodate you. So, thank you.
All right, Tom, thanks for that. And yeah, like I said, well organized and on top of their game. They are, except for the date. But I identify with that. I'm chronologically challenged myself, as evidenced on many occasions. And it's a great venue, by the way, the Maps Museum. Even if you're not a ham radio operator or you hate electronics, you will have a good time at the Maps Museum. And our next Sarah membership meeting, now this is the big test. Is it really October 16th? I certainly hope so. Plan to attend and bring a friend. All right, any other announcements for the good of the cause? All righty. August 2025 meeting minutes. I sent the link out, and that link doesn't change. I'll send it out every month, but that link is embedded in stone. You can always use that link to go to the most current roster. You can download it, and after you download it, whatever, it's yours. But the minutes are up there. I sent the agenda, the link to the agenda to the same site. It's our Nextcloud site for Sarah. I also attached the agenda also, I believe, but we're probably going to transition to just using the link. It's a lot easier. I don't know how many people actually even have a printer anymore. There we go. All right, Jerry, I knew I could count on you. All right, August 2025 meeting minutes. Any additions, corrections? Motion to approve? Stefan, second. George? Anybody don't want to approve them? I'll just put it that way. All right, I think they're approved then. There we go. All right, Mikey, where are you?
Hello, everybody. Oh, yes, I could trip and fall again.
You already fell once. We don't want to happen again.
Okay. It was somewhat of a uneventful month. We had some additional field day supplies for $10. We had the All-Star Link donation. That was $200. Looks like I missed a line between the Starlink supplies. So we had those for $68.53, $40.95. We had a $50 Starlink subscription. We had a cash deposit from the 50/50. This was from the picnic of $76. And we had a $70 transfer from PayPal. And the PayPal fees for last month was $4.47. So it gives us a balance of $4,014.79. $1,100 is for the repeater fund. So it gives us a working fund of $2,914.79. You know, one thing we're probably going to have to do is make sure we have a 50/50 raffle every meeting, because I've never won. I'd like to have a chance at least one and recoup the money that I have given. So there.
All right, very good. And Mikey, we definitely want you to win. Eventually. Eventually. All right. By the way, while you mentioned that, Russ had another issue and couldn't make it, so he will be back next month. But you're right. We really need to have a plan B for that. I agree. That could be impeachable. That could be impeachable. I'm thinking negligent.
I think it sounds like a task for the vice president.
Task for the vice president. Did I hear that? Oh, yeah. All right, very good. And moving right along, we're going to get into our committee reports. I love this part. That means I don't have to talk so much. Absolutely.
Oh, boy.
Here's the doodad.
All right. We're going to put a picture of Betty up there next time. She's the real person in charge. All right, we're going to jump right into it. Sarah, visit to the USS Cod. We got the date set. Talked to Bill, KVIT. We're going Sunday, October 12th. Setups 11 to noon. We'll probably get there a little earlier than that. But plan, operate 12 to 5. We're going to try to have it torn down by sundown. It's about 7 o'clock in October, that time of October. That's the address. All of this info is going to get posted to the website in 5 minutes, I hope, if I did everything right. Thank you. Awesome. He knows what I do. That's great. Anyways, it's going to be a very operating-focused event. We're not going to have any food or anything like that, but we'll have a cooler with drinks and things like that. But come down, operate the COD. Let's see, if you come and sign up and come, it is just off of Route 2. Here's North Marginal Road. Did I read that right? Burke Lakefront's over here. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's over here. You just hit this driveway here, and this is their parking. I think they only have porta potties, so just be aware of that. I got to confirm with Bill. This is how you sign up. The posting on the website and the email that's about to go out as well. It's going to have a link to a Sign Up Genius. The way we got it set up is 30-minute time slots, 2 people per time slot. You can only fit 2 people in the COD's radio room at a time. So basically have a logger and a radio operator, and you guys can like switch off, right, and share. For now, we're going to have it just, one time slot that you can sign up for, but we'll see how much interest we get, and maybe we'll open up to more if we don't get so many signups, but I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty well-attended event. We'll see. Let's see, what else? If you can't get on board the COD because it's not handicap accessible, you got to go down the deck ladder essentially. We're going to have a station set up outside. We're going to have a little, pop-up set up with a radio. I think we're doing an end-fed half wave. And so you'll be able to, if you're waiting for your turn or you're just not able to get down there, you'll be able to operate the radio from that second radio station we have set up. So that's the plan there. So when you do click on the link, here's the Sign Up Genius page that you'll see. You can see there's different time slots. So this one's 1:30 to 2, 2 to 2:30, 2:33, et cetera, et cetera. It shows how many people have already signed up. It'll actually show the person's name. So if you know the person, you could sign up in their time slot or whatever. You can coordinate with them. Let's see. If you're not planning on operating on the sub and you're just going to attend the event, there's this one down here at the bottom for just event attendee, no radio room. You just sign up just to let us know so we can give Bill a count for how many people are coming. So when you hit sign up, this is the page it takes you to, right? It's got your time slot, the date and the time slot. You're signing up for one slot, and then just, if you're bringing anybody else, just put a number in there. So like if you're going to bring your wife or something, put 2 attendees. Does that all make sense? Okay. Any questions? Okay. So that's the sign up. Again, yes, sir. Mr. Mark. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask. We'll see what we can do, Mark. So, off the back of the sub. My mom's got some jet skis. Bring those out. So anyways, yeah, the COD is not handicap accessible. I think this is the only, I think it's a Gato class submarine. I think it's the only unmodified one. They haven't basically cut a hole in the side and made it handicap accessible, so it's pretty original. So, go ahead, Stefan.
Wasn't it just dried up like 2 years ago?
It was a couple years ago, yep. They towed it over to, I think, Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's got a French dent right on the side. To Erie.
Then they towed it back. Several years ago, the crew that maintains that ship rebuilt all their engines. They're totally rebuilt. They're
okay.
operable. If they would take the propeller and put it back on, it would be seaworthy.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. It does run. The engines run. So.
If you go to YouTube, they do a whole series of YouTube videos, and they're trying to restore it to the point where it feels like you would be a crew member as you're on board.
Yeah.
I was on it when I was a little.
Yeah.
And it was basically stripped down. I got to see the torpedo wounds.
Okay.
But there was no amenities or anything. But they put in like the curtains and all this stuff.
Yep. And I think I saw one of the videos, they actually are building an example of what the batteries used to look like too. And so that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's a great, and so I think we'll have an opportunity to look around the sub and explore. So that's another thing you could do if you're waiting for your turn in the radio room. So anything else on that? Ben?
What happens if they run out of time slots?
Well, technically, we could expand it a little bit. We could probably get another 4 slots in there. if we bump the event to say 6 o'clock, because sundown's at 7, so we have a little bit of flexibility. But I mean, if it's a popular event, maybe it's something we can do. And then also, they do museum ships on the air weekend. 6 months later or whatever in June. So there's opportunities to operate on the cod. So and Bill's he's very interested in getting people down there and operating from the boat and things like that and showing it off. There is not. So we're going to be allowed. So typically there is to get into the cod. I think it's like $10, $15. But Bill said that we'll be able to get in free of charge. But if you're interested in supporting them and kind of thanking them for letting us come down and operate, feel free to give them a donation. So that's an option. Yeah.
If you're not signed up for a slot, can you still go into the southern?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're allowed to come in and see. Okay. Just sign up for this event attendee no radio room essentially. Okay. Other questions? Okay. So this talks a little bit. So that's the deck ladder, the deck hatch ladder. Talked about the extra station outside. Going to be available for visitors unable to access the COD's radio room, hams waiting for their turn on board, other visiting operators, and so there won't be any time slots for that station. It'll just be open. We'll just be sharing it, that second station outside. And I think we're going to be using Lane's new Yaesu FT710 for that. So that was very nice of him to offer that. You're free to come and spend all day or whatever you want to do. But if you do have a slot and you're not going to stay all day, please come about 15 minutes prior to your scheduled time so you can get all set, get in the door and get you down there and comfortable and everything. You can bring your name badge. That way it's easier to identify you because there's other volunteers and things. They know we're coming, but it's always good to have a name badge. Again, no food or anything. We'll have drinks and things like that. Donations appreciated to support the COD if you'd like. Dress for the weather. It's going to be autumn, obviously, and we're not sure. It's going to be on the lake, so just be aware of the weather. Make sure you dress warm enough, or whatever the weather does. I think, like I said before, I think the restrooms are porta potties. I'll confirm with Bill and update that on the website. And if you can't attend, try to keep an eye out. If you're able to make it down to the Radio Shack, keep an eye for a spot. And try to contact us on HF if you can. So, yes, sir. We're going to use the call W8COD, Whiskey 8 Charlie Oscar Delta, W8COD. So that'll be pretty cool. Let's see. I think that's it. Any other questions on the COD? Awesome. So like I said, all the info should be getting posted to the website tonight, and email should go out with the sign up. Just shoot me an email if you have any questions or have any trouble with it, and we'll get it sorted out. Other operating events. Wanted to gauge interest in a fall fox hunt. I know there's been 2 already this summer. Wanted to gauge interest. Is there interest in a 3rd fox hunt sometime this fall? Jason and Gary have volunteered to put one together if there is. So if you're interested, I don't know, raise your hand, I guess. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have some interest, okay. The other thing that was brought up at the executive committee meeting was interest in Winter Field Day. I think it's been, do you know the last time we did a Winter Field Day? A couple of years. 2 years. Yeah, I wasn't really around yet, I don't think, but in 2022. So one of the questions was, are we interested in doing a Winter Field Day? So kind of gauge interest in that. I've talked to the Canton Club, and they're interested in working with some other clubs to try to do, there's a 12-band challenge. You get I think it's like a 6-time multiplier or something like that if you work 3 different stations per band. So that's something that we could do. But is there interest in Winter Field Day at all? Raise of hands. Well, yes, I'd like to be someplace warm.
South Texas.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 5, 6.
Part of it is going to be construction of an igloo shelter.
Yes.
That's part of. That's
you get a prize. You get Lane's FT710. So we have some interest. Okay. Yeah, I'll throw out. We'll throw out a survey for it to see, because if people aren't super interested, then maybe we don't go to the effort. But we'll throw a survey out on the website. So, I think that's it. I'm still talking. I'm going to talk to Nick about doing maybe a number one clause special event for Christmas Eve. So that actually falls on Wednesday night during the Beacon Net. So does it really? It does. It does.
Well, that kind of makes it easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We've already got a net going. So maybe, so turn it into a Santa net or something. Dustin could be Santa Claus, the Sasquatch Santa Claus. So, all right. Any other questions on operating stuff? That's all I got. All right. Thank you, guys.
I really appreciate it. I just have one complaint.
What's that? I'm sorry. She's babysitting. She's babysitting not our kids, but her mother's kids. Yes, that's what she said.
All right. Well, still. All right. Let's see what's next. Okay, Learning and VE Committee. Stefan, do you have a VE update?
I sent a message out.
Here, use this. Sorry.
Say it again.
Did you send a message out?
I sent a message out to the VE team explaining everything. I had some issues this last month and have myself, so I am not ready to move us forward to exam tools until our last session of the year. I sent that out, so if you guys are ready, go ahead and look at that. We have nobody signed up for any. We have nobody who's currently signed up to take a test. That could always change. We got a week and a half. But we will be at the fire department in Richmond where we were last month. So aside from that, that's all I have for that. And then when you're ready, you can hand me it again. I'll do the
All right.
social.
Yeah, I think that's all we have as far as Learning and VE Committee. I want to again thank Doug for his splendid work in getting our tech talks together this year. That is a huge job, and Doug, you did a marvelous job. Thank you very much. Social commit. Look at this. All right, first off, you're gonna do the Sarah family picnic recap.
Yeah, I will.
The fall apparel sale is on now, right now.
No, he's joking.
Okay, obviously I'm chronologically challenged, and you took advantage of me, so thank you very much. 24, 25, what's a year or two, Anyway, we got some cool things. We're going to go through those in just a minute. Before we do that, the Christmas holiday extravaganza, save the date, that's all this is, December 11th. That is the second Thursday in December. That's the date it has always been. As far as I'm concerned, that's the date it will always be, the second Thursday. And again, we do not have a club meeting in December, so you guys get a pass on that one. Oh yeah, it's here. Yep, right in this very ballroom.
Right in the pavilion out there when we have snow.
Yeah. We're gonna merge the Winter Field Day with that. Yeah. Okay, I do want to show you this. I was hoping that John would be here today. I know that he's really busy and he's got to come up from Massillon. But there's three. You guys are vesty people, so we added 3 vests to this year's merchandise. This is similar but smoother than what Stefan has on right now. It's the same thing. His vest is still available. You'll see that on the website. This guy is also available. This one's a little more money. That guy's $54. This one is very smooth, very soft, very nice, $71. The cornerstone on the far side of the screen there is a Carhartt kind of, Carhartt, I guess is that right? Carhartt. Carhartt type of vest, which is really pretty awesome. So you might be liking that as well. So that's really all we have, and for that. But it's all live now. If you run into any issues with the website, which I don't think you will, it's been thoroughly tested by our magnificent quality control group. No, the quality control group is me.
Sorry.
So we know we're in trouble now. That being said, I really hats off to Jason. He has done a fabulous job with the website. When you see the store, it is even better than it has been. So go on there, get some bling, get some Sarah bling, show your Sarah pride, and rest assured that there is a small donation to the club that comes along with your purchase of apparel. So it is on. There's a 10-day window here. We're going to go from the 18th to the 28th. It's going to close. I'm going to get the order in to John, and we'll deliver at the November club meeting. Okay. And you wanted to say something about shipping?
I wanted you to say something
I
about
don't want to
shipping.
say anything about shipping.
So we do have people that don't come to meetings. We do have some members out of state. We will ship. We being Gary usually, so it's difficult to set up the shipping calculations in the store for how we do this. So it's not cheap. We pay retail rate at USPS for a flat rate box, but we will ship it. But when you put your stuff together, if the total comes out to be really weird and crazy, don't order it. Contact Gary or I. We'll figure out what the right amount should be, and then I'll give you a coupon code that you can put in the website that'll fix the total so that it comes out to be what the actual shipping cost is all I wanted to say.
Yeah, we're not looking to make any money on shipping, trust me. As a matter of fact, we don't want to ship at all. But
that means you have to come to the meeting and get your stuff.
Which means you have to come to the meeting and get your stuff. But of course, if you're in
These are the badges that people ordered because they were going to come to the meeting and get their stuff.
Imagine that. But if you live in Oklahoma, like our good friend K5CFY, and he's ordered stuff, he just pays the shipping, and that's all good. And I appreciate the fact that those guys want to support the club. But anyway, that's the whole shipping deal. Yes, sir.
Speaking of K5CFY, one of their members passed a few weeks ago, Ron. So they're having services for him on Saturday. So Josh and I are going to be running the Board and Breaker net on Saturday. So Saturday afternoon, stop by and say hi, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Nick. Any questions about the apparel sale? All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Let's see, was there anything else? Family picnic. Here, I got some slides for you.
Oh, you got slides? Wow, look at that. Oh, let me hold the microphone.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm sorry.
All right, there's that motley. I mean, the best looking hams in the world. I'm going to throw that out, but isn't that awesome? Fantastic. Is there another one too? Look at that. There's even more of a. Wow, am I in the way? Because I don't want to be in the way of any of these people. And there's the part of the grill team, not me in the back there, but the guys up front.
Yeah, here's Dorsey winning the door prize.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ken, again.
Yeah, fantastic.
I don't know who this guy is, but he did have bunny ears.
That's
This guy
Russ.
Right here.
Oh, that guy.
He
Yeah.
had bunny ears behind him, but I opted to remove them.
Fantastic.
But we had a great time. Over on the far right, that's New Will.
New Will.
Whiskey 1 Lima Lima.
Nice. Oh, let me go back. Okay. So, first I want to say thank you to everyone on the social committee. Nobody could do that without you guys, because you guys, whoever's on the social committee, you make it happen. So I want to say thank you to Eric. Appreciate that. Harry, appreciate that. Doug, there he is. Doug, who was grilling his brains out. Well, not really his brains. It was just burgers. But, yeah. I hope he hears it or somebody lets him know. But Nick at Night, the brisket that he brought. Where is he? There he is. There he is. The brisket man. And that famous Alabama sausage from K4 OG. Had that shipped in here. It was beautiful. So anyways, aside from that, everything that everybody brought, you made the picnic. I mean, every single one of you made the picnic. And even if you didn't bring anything, just being here, you made the picnic. I couldn't believe how much food was there the day that we made that, and it was great just seeing faces. Aside from that, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Christmas party's coming up. I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be a great time because we always have a good time on the Christmas party. And, Lord willing, I always say that because you never know. We don't know about anything in life, basically. But Lord willing, there will be a good magician here doing something for that particular day. I don't know who it is, but I think he's really close to me. So I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Wait a minute, did you say good?
Yes, a good magician. But anyways, back to Gary, everyone.
All right, thanks, Stefan. We do appreciate that, and certainly appreciate all the effort that went into the picnic. It was well attended. I didn't see a face that wasn't smiling, at least at one moment or two during the afternoon. So it was really a great time. And again, like any other event with any other organization, it is the membership and the people that participate that make it all worthwhile. So that being said, thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Stefan's committee. You guys did a great job, so thank you very much for that. All right, moving right along here. Member support. Do we have anything this month? Okay, Ron, I do want to thank you for your continued efforts. You do a fabulous job. And we have a committee here. Ron doesn't have to do everything. I mean, we have a committee that will take care of some things. We're here to lend a helping hand, and that's what that is all about. Well, they should let us know. Let us know. Absolutely. But again, amateur radio operators as a whole, we are very helpful types, and that's what we do. That's what we do. So that is much appreciated. This committee just formalized that for the club. I mean, we've been doing this all along. The committee kind of formalized that we have a group that's what they do. So, Ron, again, thank you for heading that up. Last but certainly never least, at least in my mind.
This is going to be short.
Sweet.
Very short. I don't know if it's sweet. It'll be short. We had talked before about maybe getting some club tablets for field day and volunteer exam. We kind of put that on hold a little bit, partially because I was originally looking at getting some Kindle Fire tablets to do it, and the price on those randomly doubled. So put that on hold for a little bit, but that is something that might appear in time for field day. We had talked in past months about getting some storage places. We took a look at that, and it's probably not. It's probably more than the club wants to spend. So what we're actually looking at now is purchasing some sort of small container shed and putting it somewhere, and using that as sort of the space to keep the club equipment in. I actually volunteered. I have space to put it. I just don't have a sheltered space to keep all the stuff. But we might get like one of those little, if you've ever seen like the Costco sheds that you kind of assemble, and they're like 5 feet by 8 feet or something. We're looking at something like that. Oh, and Gary I didn't notice you stuck that in there on the slides when you sent it. I'm working on something for 442.275, which will turn it into a multi-mode repeater. It'll do all the it's a multi-mode repeater today for D-Star, System Fusion, and I think I have NXDN turned on right now, and DMR. But I'm working on a board that'll also let it do analog FM audio with hold timers and the ability to switch between the two, rather than some of the other hacks that are out there. So it'd be an all hardware base with some relays and a microcontroller. So that might appear on 275 at some point. So if I ever finish it, I keep poking at it and then I go to want to order the board and then I find something else to do. So we'll see. Anyway, that's it. Tech Committee, any questions? We've talked about that. The trailer's more expensive, as well as we would have to insure it. And yeah, and trailer it. We've talked about that. The big downside to that is we don't have a lot of things that we need to trailer somewhere, So we've talked about that. It's just more than we need right now. So I mean, unless we found like a free or very low cost panel trailer, but other than that. I mean,
unless you have an idea, then. I mean, we're always open to ideas. Bring it up. Well, you know what? We saw one. Remember, Ken, you and I were thinking about something along those lines a few years ago. We found one at a Hamfest for about $8,000. We thought that was a great deal, which it probably was at that point. But, it's just, it's like the guy who says, hey, I got a brand new Mercedes-Benz here for you, man. It's all yours for just $500. If you don't have $500, it might as well be $1 million. Just saying.
Anything else?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, let's see. What's next? Any new business? Anything? No new business. All right. Anything for the good of the cause? Anybody? Anywhere? Yes, sir. Nick.
Forgot to mention.
Ah,
I
there you
mentioned
go.
it during the picnic, but I'll mention it again.
That's okay.
All right,
Get up front.
up here.
Yep.
Is this good? Keep going.
There you go. Right there. Right there.
Oh, here? Here? Oh. All right, so I mentioned it during the family picnic. We have a couple people volunteered, interested in doing it, but we're doing Jamboree on the Air. My son's Boy Scout troop and is doing it along with another adult that's organizing an event at Camp Stambaugh in Canfield. So we don't know how many kids we're going to have. We know that my troop's going to camp out, so we'll have probably anywhere from 8 to 12 kids there, I'm guessing. Plus any other kids that show up that, because they're not requiring registering, they're trying to get an event started. They used to have one there before COVID, and the goal is to start bringing it back. And this is the first year where they're trying to bring it back. So we are open to any general or extra class hams because the youth will be operating on HF. We have a small assortment of radios and antennas that we'll have. So if anybody that does come out has a portable station they want to bring and set up, that's welcome too. But if you're interested, you can contact me or contact Josh. My email address is nkinney1@gmail.com. You're probably not going to remember that, so I think Josh's is a little more prevalent. But yeah, so if anybody's interested in doing that, you contact me. I can share details. That's going to be on October 18th out near Canfield at Camp Stambaugh.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Nick. If you and Josh get together, put an email together, we can send out with the information, maybe a link or something that we could get something in front of people so that they,
My biggest concern is because I don't know how many kids we're going to have. I don't know how many hams. So if we get a whole bunch of people show up, it's great. But then I don't want you guys to show up and be bored. And drive an hour and be like, well, there's only like 10 kids here.
Well, 10 kids is quite a bit.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they could, but I'm just, so that's the way my brain works.
Is there brisket?
That's the way his brain works.
There'll be some things for volunteers, but there won't be brisket.
Oh, man. All right, yeah, get some information. And what's the date? I didn't hear a date.
October 18th.
Ooh, that's soon. Okay, all right. Yeah, so get something out soon. We'll see if we can. I'm thinking Lane might want to bring his van out possibly or something like that.
Originally, I wanted to do it at Camp Manitowoc, which is up in the national park.
Right.
But they have other stuff going on, and then this other event was kind of being planned. I'm like, well, we're going to go to Canfield. Manitowoc would have been a lot easier because it's a lot closer for everybody. Plus, it's in the national park, which meant that anybody who showed up could activate the park.
Activate the park,
So
right.
I'm like thinking in my head, like, that's really enticing to get hams to come out.
That would do it.
That
would do it in a heartbeat, yeah. Okay, well, just let us know what's going on, and we'll throw it out there. All right, absolutely. All right, anything else for the good of the cause? Oh, my favorite part of the meeting.
There is no fit.
I know, but it is adjournment. All right, motion for adjourn. Dave, second. Mikey. Sorry, Stefan.
That's okay.
You got the other stuff. All right, thank you very much. Alan Ballman. I don't think so.
Do you know him? I don't know.
I don't either.